Welcome back to some Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today. Good stream today, hopefully. Started playing Charts of Sonar, which was donated by Via, which was a very, very lovely gift, I would say. And honestly, it's a really, really cool game. So, you know, definitely no regrets there. I don't know how much I really touched upon it, I suppose, in on the stream or something, but yeah, basically a viewer got in contact with me ages ago actually, and I'll talk about this in a second. Hello everyone, right now in Fawnhallow, it's 5:57 p.m. on Sunday, April 14th, 2024. Yeah, like a viewer who is called Cyborg X7, they, I should say, got in touch with me ages ago, like a year ago or something, offering to like, hey, are there any puzzle games, you know, you have your eye on, right, you know, I could purchase for you. And I was like, oh no, that's fine, don't worry, I've got all the puzzle games I got. And they followed up like I think it's like half a year later, being like, how about now, or anything like that. And I was like, oh, that's fine. And then they followed up again, like much more recently, being like, hey, you know. And I was like, okay, you know, for someone to ask multiple times, yeah, it must be a sort of thing where it's like, hey, like, come on, take this gift already. You know. I guess I sort of feel a bit strange about it. Like I've never been the best recipient of gifts in the first place, at least internally. You know, gifting is not really my love language or anything like that, as they say, and not to say about like if I receive a gift, I'm not going to be like thanks. I'd be like, oh, thank you, you didn't have to do that sort of thing. But I very much, you know, I've commented on this with a friend as well. But like internally, I feel like I don't have the appreciation that other people seem to have when they receive a gift, right? I don't seem to have that sort of level, and I don't mean that necessarily as a bad thing. Everyone receives responds to things differently, certainly, and I'm just not like someone who's like super great at receiving gifts, I suppose, in the first place. Not that like I don't know necessarily why. Not that like I don't feel like I'm worth it. Like my self-esteem is not low enough to be like, I don't know why anyone would give me a gift, that sort of thing. It's just I don't know. I guess I don't know. It's probably a mix of I tend to feel like I have very specific things I like and interests I like, in which case it makes it somewhat difficult to buy gifts for. In that case, because it's you might be like, oh, you know, you would like XYZ because you've shown interest in XYZ before, but that may or may not necessarily be the case. It may be just like really far from the truth or something. And also I'm sure part of it is to do with my own sort of like, not self-indulgent pride, that's not really a word, but like some sort of prideful part of myself being like, oh, you know, don't I'm not saying this is what I'm feeling, but I'm sure there's like some sort of subconscious thing here being like, don't pity me with your gifts or anything like that. Obviously that's not true, you know. I can understand the goodwill from gifts, and I can understand them. That's not at all what people. I'm not like so far removed from reality that I think that's actually what people think. But I'm sure there's like remnants of that from when I was younger or something. Maybe when I used to think more to that way. So it's basically like this person offered like multiple times, being like, hey, I really like when you play through puzzle games and that sort of thing. Let me buy something for you because, you know, I want to support you. And I was like, okay, you know, I was like, if you ask this many times, this is clearly something where it's just like, okay, not like a split second decision. This is not basically the number one worry I have with it is that it's someone who wants to give a gift because they feel like obligated to, or something, or they want attention or something of that sort, I guess. And it's something that they do like in the spur of the moment, and maybe like we're not in the place to really actually give a gift, or maybe they're like they're just doing it for like I don't know, like nefarious reasons, I suppose. But you know, the vibes I got were very much of that's not the case. I mean, this person frequently leaves comments on all my puzzle let's plays and that sort of thing, and clearly enjoys it. So I was just like, okay, you know, clearly if you do this must be your way of showing appreciation. And you know, instead of me just being like, no, go away every single time, which is honestly kind of rude, to be perfectly fair, you know, like, despite like trying to be humble about it, I suppose, by not accepting a gift in the first place, it's kind of like ruder at a certain point if someone's like, hey, let me do this for you, and you're like, no, every single time. But it's like a fine balance between the thing, you know. I mean, it's one thing to be like, if someone offers and then, you know, reasonably polite to go no the first time, but if someone goes no, really, I insist, and then when you go no, then it's sort of like getting like tenuous. And if someone goes like, seriously, I insist, please let me do this for you, and when you go no again, at that point I think you're just sort of being like needlessly self-indulgent, right? Unless it's really something that they cannot physically do or something, or they're like, I don't know, the person offering is delusional, I guess. But that's not the case yet. Like I even explicitly went, hey, please don't do this unless you are absolutely sure this is something you are okay with, this is something that you financially are fine with. And they were like, yeah, don't worry. I'm like, obscene mine. You know, I don't know why I made it like I'm a lawyer. Like, please sign here if you're contractually obligated, not contractually obligated to do this. Is out of the goodness of your heart. Everything and all your other affairs are sorted out, and then like probably overly formal, where they were probably just like, oh my god, please just like accept this gift already. So once again, very much thank you for the game, because honestly it's an awesome game. I definitely should have picked it up in the sale. It's just kind of like the stars aligned, where I was just like, in the moment I was like, okay, yeah, I probably should just say yes at this point, because it's probably really annoying. Like I've been very much on the other end when I'm like, let me do this for you, and they're just like, no, and I'm like, oh my god, just let me do this. Because like when you do it the first time, it's like, oh, I want to show my appreciation here, let me do this, and then they say no, and they'll be like, oh, look how like kind they are or something. No, this is from me, unless like saying it from the other perspective, I suppose. And they're like, oh, okay, they're being like very humble, they don't want to accept it, but I'm like, no, let me do it. And then they say no again, I'm like, okay, maybe they didn't get a message, hey, let me do this. And then they say no again, I mean, you're just like, please, come on. So, you know, I get it. And it's a thing that, you know, I suppose I got to realise of part of, like, not that this is my job, but part of, like, doing this as a hobby is that people will want to show appreciation in certain ways, you know, and this is, I suppose, by nature of a sort of, like, social, I suppose, element of this is, like, you want to show appreciation in certain ways here and there, and people do it in different ways, you know. So it's basically, I'm sort of like not mentally preparing myself, maybe that's the wrong word, but like thinking to a future, people might be like, oh, you know, what if like I start being able to get like subscribers, I suppose, to the stream or that sort of thing. If people are going to like start subscribing, what am I going to be like? Am I going to be like, no, don't do that, unsubscribe from me right now? Of course not, you know. It's you got to sort of come in at it with a mind of like, yeah, people wouldn't do, as long as you sort of like establish don't do this unless, you know, you really want to, and this is totally fine for you to do so, it's fine. Like, I mean, the worries of people like spending like well without their means is kind of like, it depends how much they're spending, I suppose. Like outside their means, like if someone like buys 100 gift subs for someone, you might be like, hey, are you sure about that, or that's something. But if someone just like subscribes, or someone just like buys something relatively cheap, you might be like, okay, that's like relatively normal. Everyone, like, who am I to judge necessarily what's going on in people's personal lives? Some people might just like be pretty wealthy, or like be very comfortable financially, and like this is what they find entertaining, in which case, fair enough. I guess also part of it is intrinsically myself. I don't want to necessarily tie this with the idea of like I'm doing this for the money. Well, I feel like I believe myself and have enough confidence in myself to be like, oh dear decoration, to be like, oh yeah, I'm sort of like divorcing this idea enough for my own enjoyment of it, compared to like this like fiduciary benefits, I suppose, potentially of it, because honestly there are not really much financial benefits of it in the first place, unless you're like a really big online tour de force. But it's like, I don't know, I guess part of me like a sort of like nagging feeling in the back of my head, just being like, oh, maybe this is like something I'd be like, oh, I don't want to make this association between like money and it in the first place. I don't actually know, when can you start getting subscribers on Twitch? When can I start getting subscribers? Must be a Twitch affiliate or Twitch partner. Let's see. Twitch affiliate. Join the affiliate program. What do you need for Twitch affiliate? Reach 50 followers, stream for 8 hours, stream on 7 different days, reach an average of 3 viewers. Oh, I can actually genuinely do that if I reach 50 followers. Stream for 8 hours, like in total. That's probably like within a year or something, which is fine. I mean, I stream for about 12 hours each month is the plan. 7 different days, that would be fine. Average of 3 viewers? I think I'll probably reach average of 3 or 4 viewers, which is nice to see. I can only go up. You'll be invited to the affiliate program via email, via Twitch notification. And then you can get monetization tools. Wow, that actually could be more Actually, no, I was going to say, if I could come more recently than I think, but I think about it more, and I'm just like, 50 followers. How many followers do I have now? Probably like 12 or 13. Don't listen to my VOD. So I guess it's doable. It certainly is doable. Apparently I have 76 views on my initial VOD. I didn't realise I had that many. It seems strange, if anything. Yeah. I mean, that genuinely might be quite doable. 50 followers. Who knows? In which case, I very much need to like sort of get myself in the right mindset for it. Like, if people want to subscribe, if people want to cheer, if people want to leave some sort of donation here and there, then one, I should actually, I guess, put alerts on so I can actually be notified of it. And two, and it's like I've got to accept people doing things out of the idea of the kindness of their heart, And I never sort of like two ways about this, which is why I'm sort of like delicately dancing around the topic. Like, there's this idea of greed, I mean, I'm sure people have run into a fair share of like drama-based streamers who are like, why aren't you guys donating things to me? Why aren't you subscribing? Like, don't you like me enough or something, etc., etc., etc. Which is, I like to think people respect me enough to be like, oh yeah, you're not like that, dear darling. And, I like to think I'm aware enough to be like, yeah, I'm not like that either. But it's also like, it sort of goes around the other way, where it's just like, oh, isn't it a bit patronizing to be like, hey, you don't need to leave something, or you don't need to generously donate something of your own goodwill. Not from a sense of like, oh, you don't need to have like a humility sense, but it's like, oh, I don't trust you enough to believe that you're doing this like from like a sense of good, like from a good mind sense or something. Like, I don't know, when I reframe it like that, if someone like I wanted to support was like, oh, you don't need to donate money, and then I felt like they were doing it from a sense of like, I don't trust you, I'd be like, that's pretty patronizing, excuse me. I'm not really someone who likes to be patronized to, I suppose. So I guess that's, even more doubly frustrating from its perspective. So you know what? This is where you accept the gift, but then you show your thankfulness for it in the first place. That's probably the best balance. I didn't realise it was only 50 followers. That's actually like way lower than I thought. I should actually read about this monetization thing. So you can get monetization, cheering a bit, subscriptions, ad revenue, hype chat. I don't know how much ads I'm going to play at. I don't have like that many views in the first place. I'd rather keep the views rather than play ads. I mean, I'd play them at like the beginning and maybe at the end or something, or maybe in between the breaks. I don't necessarily know. I don't know what transcoding options mean. Subscriber streams? I don't think I really need to do that necessarily. Subscriber only VODs, increase VOD storage from 7 days to 14 days. I feel like my VODs already are more than 7 days, right? I mean, this one's 14 days ago, this VOD. I don't know how it's still existing. Isn't that a bit strange? Oh well. Eligible to create stories on Twitch. I don't even know what it is. Polls. Customizable channel points. Interesting. So, I don't know. I guess that's the next thing I need to do, is I need to actually like start getting people to follow me on Twitch. I mean, I don't need to worry about that too much yet, because I mean, I need to stream on 7 different days, for one. And I've already done 3 streams so far. So maybe once we start getting towards the 7 stream mark, I should start being like, hey, start following me on Twitch. I mean, it would be cool to be able to get subscribers and that sort of thing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna stand here and be like, wow, money, that sucks. money for doing something I like. No, horrific. I mean, to be fair, there is the general concept, I suppose, of like that study of like rewarding children for doing something that they already like doing is actually worse than otherwise. Like you're meant to reward them for doing stuff that they don't like doing, but if they do like doing them, not that you're not meant to reward them, I suppose. Like, you're not meant to like give them reward incentives for doing it. Like, I think the example is like, hey, your kid likes drawing. If you go like, oh, if you do a drawing for me, I'll give you £10. You're not meant to do that. You're probably meant to do something like, oh, you seem to really like drawing. Should we go by the arts and crafts store or something today, and maybe you can pick out some nicer colour pencils? Or maybe like on their birthday, you'd be like, oh, here's a really nice gift for you or something. Like, basically the sort of tying, I guess this is kind of exactly what I was talking about before, the concept of tying actual reward to something that people like doing in the first place is not good. Is like it's worse. it not brings up worse. It makes you less likely to want to do something. which is totally fair. I guess that's kind of like why I'm sort of hesitant for this whole like receiving things for making this channel thing in the first place. I guess I don't want to make that association. You know, if I'm to be truly honest, yeah, I don't want to make that association for myself. Well, I don't think I will necessarily. I mean, there's always a chance. Like, I think it's arrogant to think I'm above like human psychological effects. You know, that I'm like infallible in the sense where I'm like, oh, now I know about this psychological effect of what happens. It won't apply to me. I think that's silly. I think that's far too arrogant. You know, you got to remain humble. You got to be like, hey, you know, I'm still human after all. Even knowing about the effect doesn't necessarily stop the effect in the first place. I know you might be like, hey, you're kind of making a mountain out of this molehill. It's not even a molehill. You're kind of like making a mountain out of flat ground right now. And dear darling, what are you like doing? And I'm like, I don't know, you know. And I guess I'm stretching out a conversational topic for about 20 minutes. I just can't believe that Twitch affiliate is like as low as that. I mean, it's not like it's like super easy to be like, oh yeah, just get 50 followers, just get an average of 3-4 viewers, I suppose, on each of your streams. That's not really what I meant. I don't mean to be like, oh, anyone could do it. It's just more like, I guess I was closer to it than I thought. I don't even know, like I must be decently close to the YouTube monetization one as well. I think my watch hours is not quite there yet or something, but it would not surprise me if it happened sort of concurrently around the same sort of time. I think you need 1,000 subscribers, right? So I need 1,000 subscribers, and I need a bit more watch hours per month. I need 4,000 watch hours per month, and I'm on 3,300. So it kind of would be if I got about 1,200 subscribers. You know, if they go up at the same sort of similar sort of rates, that's probably what I'd get. When I get YouTube monetization, which I'm not really planning to do much monetization. Maybe I'll put like an ad as well, some way through the video. I can't imagine it would get me more than a couple of pence a video, which seems a bit pointless to really, you know, like if it's really like that low, I'd rather like not put ads in, so people like enjoy actually watching it in the first place rather than having an ad experience. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like why in my mind like Twitch makes more sense, because subscriptions, like you don't get like a huge amount, but you get like £2 or something, right, per subscription. And there's like Amazon Prime, which people can use their subscriptions on in the first place, which, I don't know, makes more sense. Hold on. Twitch monetization. I don't know if there's like another tracking thing that they have on Twitch to also be like, hey, this is create a dashboard maybe? I don't know if I need to do more analytic things. I should do more alert stuff. I need to make like custom things. I just don't have time to do anything I want to do. That's just like a mood there. Because I need to finish this Animal Crossing thumbnail art. It's like been ages. It's like almost been a month, I suppose, since I should have finished it, and I just haven't. And I've not even like that far through it, to be perfectly honest. I'm like halfway through, and I just like not had the time. I need to like record other videos and that sort of thing. I don't know how am I gonna get it done. Eventually. I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll do like, I might do like guerrilla streams or something, like random streams here and there, being like, all right, let's like buckle down and do some drawing or something for like a while, just like really out of nowhere. I don't know. Could be an idea. Could be an idea. Maybe yes, maybe no. Anyway, monetization is a very interesting sort of concept. I guess I don't really need to think about it yet, but I'm going to round this episode off here, I think. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been dear darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope you see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye-bye for now.